Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our moderators, McKeel Hagerty and Wayne Carini.
Good morning. Thanks everybody for coming to this beautiful setting and a beautiful day. I was thinking as we arrived yesterday that I think this is the nicest weather I've had out here in a decade. I haven't packed a short sleeve shirt to come to Scottsdale in 5 years, and hopefully it won't be windy, will it, Drew, this year? Oh, sorry. Well, we were there with you, buddy.
I know it.
Okay. My name is McKeel Hagerty. I'm the CEO of Hagerty. Most of you know Hagerty as an insurer of vintage and classic cars around the world. We have offices in the UK, US, and Canada. And we are the largest insurer of vintage cars. And so as you'd imagine, because of that, we're pretty interested in what happens in the collector car marketplace around the world. I mean, to give you an example, last year, 2010, was a very good year for buying collector cars. I mean, there were a lot of transactions. Our clients last year bought about 50,000 cars in the U.S. and added them to their policies, and that was about $1.5 billion worth of cars that were bought in 2010. And so we're pretty interested in what's going on in the collector car space, and so that's a big part of what we do. But the other part that you may not know what we do at Hagerty is, in addition to being in the insurance and roadside assistance business, we also publish our magazine, Hagerty, the Hagerty magazine, and also we have a value guide that it's been, until today, has been referred to the Hagerty's Cars That Matter, published by our friend and colleague and his team of experts, Dave Kinney, in the back, Dave. And it's, as of today, now called the Hagerty Price Guide. Not very original maybe, but I think it's fairly clear. Because I think as you get it, we're very interested in the car market, and so are our clients. But what's fascinating about how all of these transactions occur is that while most of them occur on, just like you'd expect, out of classified ads and private treaty sales, and of course, as Wayne likes to find those mythical barn finds, there is, well, they're maybe not mythical, you seem to find them, and they look great, is that the sexiest, most market-making, and very often the highest prices go at live auctions. And there's no doubt about it. The gentlemen assembled here before you are part of that very visible, very sexy, very cool part of how cars are transacted, which is at live auctions, and which is what brings us all out here to Scottsdale every year. So that's the reason we wanted to do the summit. Let's get the representatives from all the major auction houses to get together to talk about trends and tricks and things that they're seeing in the marketplace. We did. Unfortunately, Dana Meekum could not send anyone. He has his big sale going on this weekend down in Kissimmee, Florida. Barrett Jackson was going to be here but canceled at the last minute. So you'll all get a chance to pretend you're Barrett Jackson and answer for them later. So enough. My mic just died. Well, I guess that's all I had to say about that. It's probably, I think Craig shut my microphone down. Because he's never done that before. So anyway, good morning, welcome. That's what we're doing at Hagerty, trying to give you good information. And hopefully if you also have a chance to attend some of our other things going on this weekend that Jonathan mentioned, we'll announce that schedule again at the end. But without further ado, I want to just very quickly introduce again Wayne Carini, the host of Chasing Classic Cars, restored car expert, and great friend, just a really good guy in the car space. We're very proud to be associated with him, and he's going to explain a little bit about what we're going to do here.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. Don't get nervous. We have all these representatives. There's no gavels up here this morning, so don't get nervous. They're not going to sell you anything yet. Oh, now you're going to leave because of that, right? What we're going to do this morning is we're going to ask each individual panelist a question that's been chosen, and we're going to sort of do it in random order. We're not going to go down the row. We'll just ask questions randomly. And we'll allow the panelists to give their answer to the question, and then we're going to throw it out and have a buy, sell, and hold type of a banter going on, and let people know what they feel, what's the up and coming cars, what to hold right now, and what to get rid of real quick.
Whatever we're selling.
Right, whatever we're selling. Just get rid of it. So we want this to be lighthearted and have a good time. We want to get some great answers. I'm sure we will from our panelists, and then we're going to throw out some questions to the people in the audience, and see what we come up with to really get some good answers out of these people. So we'll get started. I think McKeel's going to ask the first question.
Well, I think we're going to ask them to. We kind of randomized the order, both on the introductions and the questions, and the notes. So, Rod, would you introduce yourself first and just tell a little bit about what you do for a living?
My name is Rod Egan. Worldwide Auctioneers is our company. I'm one of the principals and founders of the organization. We are based in Auburn, Indiana, where the vintage car auction business originated. I'm sure most of you already know that. So we have some good heritage there. We're very proud of the roots and very proud of how everything's developed in so many years, from Auburn to all the massive auctions and quality events that you see now. This is our 10th year as Worldwide Auctioneers, my partner John and I, and we specialize in catalog format auctions. We hold 3 principal events each year in Auburn, Indiana, of course, where we also have a mainstream auction, that being a greater amount of cars, 400 or 500 cars, not in a catalog venue that appeal to more of a mass collector as well. So Houston, Texas also, the Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance is another one of our big events. We got great history there. Wonderful event, great view. On the water, so wooden boats as well, if anybody of you are boat enthusiasts. I know there's a great crossover. And our latest venue is Atlantic City, New Jersey at Trump Taj Mahal. And what we try to do, we strive, obviously, of course, like everybody does, to have a great selection of vehicles. But first and foremost, John and I as owners it's very important to us that we have communication with all our customers and all our people as owners. We think that's vital in the process, also as well as the auctioneering process. And most of all, we understand that nobody does this if it isn't fun, and fun is a big contingent, a big part of what we do. And we're glad to be here.
Thank you, Rod. Simon?
Yeah, good morning. My name's Simon Hope, and I came over from England specifically to this particular show, and very pleased to be here this morning. I'm the founder and managing director, as we'd call it in the UK, of H&H. It was started in 1993. So quite a long-living one, certainly in the UK side. We started as a specialist classic car auction house and have since progressed into collector motorcycles, aircraft, and indeed all the relative automobilia. But specifically hold all our auctions in the UK. On an average, we have 7 auctions a year. In UK volume or turnover terms, we're third behind RM, who came over sort of 3 years ago, the powerhouse Canadian company into Europe, and Bonhams, and have a real good feeling, and people respect us for our honesty and integrity and the openness of the way we go about delivering what is a very personal service to our clients. We have a global client base of some 50,000 people who we monitor and liaise with on a regular basis. And as I've been coming over to the States for some 20-odd years to a variety of these events, we also have some very good US clients. There are lots of cars in the US that are more European orientated than they are over here. We specialize as well in catalog sales, and although have a good internet presence as well. And in terms of our marketing side, we're a primary sponsor of the Vintage Sports Car Club, which is the largest club of its type in the world, and the official partner of Race Retro, which is the International Historic Motor Show. We currently hold some 50 world records for a variety of cars, just putting us in context, and also currently hold the record for the highest price ever paid for a motorcycle, which is £300,000, or whatever that turns out today in dollar terms.
Who cares, right?
Who cares? Yeah, absolutely.
That's just
It's a rook, yeah. So apologies if I've used the wrong words, by the way. We're all also enthusiasts. I raced a lot, and I'm absolute devoted lover of 8 cylinders in terms of racing Mustangs, Corvettes in 6 and 12-hour events, Alpha 8Cs, and so on and so forth. And in terms of having friends in the States, I believe, or at least I'm hoping to be part of a US team entered in my Allard into the Mealy Mealy this year with McKeel and a few others. So that's a bit about me. Thank you very much.
that'll be fun. I'm very worried about that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not the only two.
All right, Max.
Yeah, my name is Max Gerardo. I'm MD for RM Auctions in London, England. RM was started about 30 years ago with restorations first, and we went into the classic car auction business in 1997. 2007, we opened our offices in Europe, where we've had lots of successful sales. Like Simon Hope, we have catalog sales as well. RM has offices in Canada. That's the headquarters. That's where RM Auctions was born. We obviously have our office in London, Fort Lauderdale as well, and Hamburg in Germany. So we've got quite a global presence all over the world. Auctions are held all over the world as well, with obviously here in Arizona, Pebble Beach, England, Monaco, Italy. So quite the variety. Restoration side at RM, we still do that. That's still going and thriving. We've won Best of Show at Pebble Beach with our restoration business, so that's something that we have as well, and that's also based out of Canada. So that gives you a bit of an overview of RM. We're pretty excited about the year. We're all very passionate about cars as well. I think we're all quite passionate about cars, really. We're all. I always say to everyone, I anyway, have the best job in the world. I get to talk to people about cars and have auctions and meet people. So cars is what we love, and cars is what we try to do our best at.
Thank you, Max. Mitch?
I agree with Max. We get to be the surrogate owner of these beautiful cars, at least for a weekend. It works out wonderful. I'm Mitch Silver with Silver Collector Car Auctions. We've got our show in Scottsdale, or over in Fountain Hills at the Fort McDowell Casino. This weekend we call it January in Arizona. I looked at a classified ad. It was a car collector back in the 70s, and I loved them, and I was searching, and I saw an ad for a McLeod auction up in Seattle, Washington, and I'm in Spokane, so I drove across the state, went to my first auction ever, thought this was the greatest thing. I don't chase cars. I sit in one spot comfortably, and cars come in front of me, and 3 minutes later, it's another car. 3 minutes later, and I just picked the ones I like, and I thought, this is wonderful. So I went home and started an auction company back in 1979. So 31 years later, still doing the same thing, and it's been a great job. My friends and my associates are all from the collector car world, and it's just couldn't meet a better group of people. It's a real fun business to be in. We do about 12 sales a year. Our big sale is Hot August Nights up in Reno, about a 900 car sale. This is our second biggest sale, the one we do here in the Valley. And then we have sales at resort settings in Sun Valley, Idaho, Jackson, Wyoming, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And then we do regional sales, Seattle, Portland, Salt Lake City around. So kind of a combination of events. It's just been a great thing to do, and I just invite everybody out to the sales. We're kind of a masses group. Most of our cars are in the about $125,000 on the high end and down, although occasionally we get up in the $250,000 range in Reno, but that's rare for us. We hit that a little bit. But I tell you what, from $100,000 to $20,000, we've got a ton of cars. That's what we sell. A lot of muscle cars, a lot of American iron, and when we get a beautiful foreign piece in, it stands out in the crowd, and it does quite well. So we enjoy it. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Mitch. Donnie?
Yeah, hi. I'm Donnie Gould, and I'm with Auctions America by RM, and I'm not just a client of McKeel's over here, or a fan of Wayne's chasing classic cars, but I'm an old car guy, and I love old cars, and I grew up in this business, and my dad was in this business, and he mentored me as a child, and some of you may remember him. His name was Tiny Gould, and I came on board with RM about 9 years ago, and recently became a partner in the company. And Rob Myers asked me about 9 months ago if I'd be interested in taking on this little project up in Auburn, Indiana, and we sat down and talked about it, and we came to an agreement. And We recently bought the Auburn Auction Park in Auburn, Indiana, and within 60 days went in there, restored the grounds, put together a 900-car auction, had a 50% sale-through rate, which is not what RM likes to do, but in that short a period of time, we considered that a huge success. And also by us going in there and taking over this auction park, 235 acres, million square feet of asphalt, 200,000 feet of buildings under roof, which we restored and brought back to life. We also went in there and kind of, I guess maybe you could say, took a little bit of a stink off of what was going on in our industry, and brought a good name to the table, and we're looking forward to many future successes there down the road, and we're flying under the new banner, Auctions America, and we're the new kids on the block. So.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donnie. Appreciate your candor about all that. Later, you can tell us the rest. Is that true?
My name's Drew Alcazar, and my wife Josephine and I own Russo Steele, local-based company here in Scottsdale. We're on our 11th year. We specialize in European sports, American muscle, hot rods, and customs. That's been our banner since day one. We do 2 sales. This is our flagship sale here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And of course, we produce our other auction in Monterey, California during the Pebble Beach Concours Week. So I'm excited to be here this year, particularly in this form and environment. I don't think we've ever had kind of all of us together in one place at one time. So we were in the back, and I jokingly said, I hope nobody has one bullet, because you've got us all in a line right now. Donnie said he wanted to be at the end. Nice to have you all here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Drew. David.
Yes, my name is David Swigg. I'm here from San Francisco. I'm with Bonhams and Butterfields. Bonhams, as you may know, one of the world's oldest auction houses. We've been around since 1793, have offices really all over the world. Cars and motorcycles are a huge part of our program. I focus on our North American operations, car and motorcycle sales here in the U.S. Our biggest sale, of course, being the one in Monterey in August during the whole week of car activities down there at the Quail Lodge. Also a variety of other car and motorcycle auctions. On a personal note, I'm 26 years old. I've really grown up in this whole world. My father was a car dealer on the retail end for about 50 years. I pretty much grew up in a car dealership, so I feel right at home here in this beautiful Penske complex. In my personal life, it's all cars as well. I do quite a bit of vintage racing. My father and I organized the California Millet Historic Sports Car Tour, 1,000-mile tour of California every April. So really, I live and breathe this stuff every day, and that's really what it's all about. Thank you.
Thank you. And Garth.
Yep. I'm Garth Hammers. I'm with Gooding & Company. There's a mic over here, I think, coming up. We're based in Santa Monica. Oh, thank you.
From
Cool.
the beginning.
All right. Which one are we on? Hello?
There we go.
Good, we're good now. All right. Garth Hammers with Gooding & Company. We're based in Santa Monica, California. I grew up in the hobby. My dad and his brother were auction guys that we'd go to the West Coast auctions. I was in 5th grade or so, and other kids would ride around the block on their bikes, and I'd go to a car auction on the weekend. And I've been in it ever since, so this really is a perfect job for me. Gooding & Company is based in Santa Monica, as I said. We do 3 auctions a year. Pebble Beach, we started at Pebble. 4 years ago, we added our Scottsdale sale, and then last year we started at Amelia Island. We're all car enthusiasts ourselves, just like everyone. If we had more time, we'd do more events. David Gooding has a wonderful little collection of cars, and I don't see them move often enough. Particularly the ones he has. I'd be out driving them constantly, and even the cars I have don't move as often as they should. But we try to cover the whole hobby. What we really look for is best of category cars. So not everything has to be $1 million car, but we want to find the best example of whatever it is, whether it's an Austin Healey or an 8C Alpha. We want to find the best one we possibly can and bring that to the block. So we're happy to be here.